to welcome our friend Arya to introduce our today's guests of honor.
Am I audible in all the meets? CRs, please confirm.
Yes, you're audible.
Okay. A very good morning to all of you. Joining us today is a superwoman and an amazing visionary. And when I say amazing, I mean it. Doesn't a warm and assuring smile from your loved ones make your day and give you immense hope? Yes, right? Our speaker for today can help someone have such a smile that they can be proud of. Bab has completed her bachelor in dental surgery from Rajasthan University of Health Sciences, Jaipur, and is now certified as a smile esthetician from Indian Dental Academy, Mumbai. In addition to being a dentist, ma'am is a restorator, a fashion influencer, a model, and a true inspiration of today's youth. Ma'am has also shown her excellence in the field of sports by winning the district basketball championship in the year 2006. Currently, ma'am is working as a dental surgeon and a digital smile esthetician. She is also serving as the president in Junior Chamber International, Kota Pride. She is the one who turns her obstacles into opportunities. Imbibing the importance of a thing, creating social awareness has always been her first priority. Ma'am has conducted several sessions on topics such as oral and mental health. Today she is with us to share her insights on vaccination. Ma'am, we are truly honored to have such a versatile personality like you with us. With all the love and joy in your heart, please welcome Dr. Kaushambiwalia. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you, Arya Chitre, for a wonderful introduction, and thank you, Hiranandani College of Pharmacology, Mumbai, to giving me such opportunity to be in front of all of you in this webinar. First of all, take me, am I audible or not?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh,
You are.
okay. So it's an honor for me to have you as an audience today. Sorry for being late, but due to heavy rainfall, I couldn't connect on time, as mentioned to Mulli Manohar sir. So, shall we start the session? Is my screen visible to all of you?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you see my screen now?
No, ma'am, presentation is not visible.
Okay. Now is it visible?
No, madam, it is not visible.
Please.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, it is visible now to all of you. Someone was saying something. Sorry. So shall I start?
Yes, madam.
Okay, before getting into this webinar, I would like to ask
Hello,
you.
ma'am.
Uh,
Your screen is not visible in here.
it is not visible. Please just leave your comment in the chat box so that I can read it. That is it visible or not? Because in on my screen it is showing it is visible.
Madam, for all three links, you should be sharing the screen, not only for one link.
I've shared, ma'am, I've shared already.
Because it is not there in second year.
Second year. Okay. Now is it there?
Yes, madam, it is there now. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for notifying me.
In table as well.
Okay. So first tell me in the chat box that how many of you are completely vaccinated, not partially vaccinated, completely vaccinated.
Ma'am, please share your screen in table.
Now is it visible to all the 3-year students?
Yes, ma'am.
So Gehna Singh says yes, ma'am. Namrita Bhattacharya ji, Manisha. So you all are completely vaccinated. Okay. So today's objective is what will be discovered in the webinar. As you can know, as you know already that it is a webinar on vaccine awareness, which is very needful in the times of COVID pandemic, because people are scared. Even now, after the completion of second wave, there's a lot of rumors about the vaccination. So in order to overcome that, we need to have a specific awareness to all the age groups, so that they can be aware of why vaccine is really important to them. So today's objective is, after this presentation, you will be able to describe how a vaccine is made. Pharmacology students must be curious about the contents in the vaccines. So it's very important for you. Explain details of the COVID vaccine and its development. You will easily know how the development of the vaccine is available to you from different pharmaceutical companies. And we'll be listing benefits of the COVID-19 vaccine. And if you have any doubts, you can mention in the chat box, so that I can go through all the doubts after the end of this presentation. Will this be okay with you, or you want me to have those doubts in between the webinar?
We will be conveying it to you.
Via chat box.
By unmuting.
Okay, I would suggest that you will just, you need to drop your doubt in the chat box, so that I can take specifically it after the completion of the webinar. Is that okay with you?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So according to Food and Drug Administration, FDA in America, and Central Drug Standard Control Organization, CDSCO in India, a vaccine is a product designed to help prevent diseases. So vaccine can help individuals from getting diseases which are life-threatening, such as chickenpox, influenza, flu, and COVID-19. So today we'll be talking about COVID-19 specifically only. We will not focus on chickenpox and influenza. Vaccines keep communities safe and healthy by supporting the herd community, preventing a disease from spreading. So what is herd community? Herd immunity. Herd immunity is basically a group of population in a segregated area, which is divided into states, which is divided into countries, to prevent that virus to get into that herd community via the vaccine, via scheduling the vaccine camps around the villages, around the states, so that people are generally aware about it. So herd immunity mostly plays an important role in the awareness sessions in rural areas and villages, where people are less aware. in cities, mostly people do get a lot of information via via FM, via TV, via radio, via XYZ. There's a lot of Instagram influencers who are keeping all the people updated about the COVID vaccination. So this keeps city people quite in a box situation, and rural areas in an out of box situation. So, third point, we'll be discussing about the COVID-19 vaccine development and its efficacy, and overview of vaccination development process under COVID-19 clinical studies. How vaccines are made, how much efficient are they? Will you have COVID after getting fully vaccinated or after getting partially vaccinated? So we'll come to know what happens in the development and the efficacy of COVID-19 vaccine. So as you all know, we do have 3 options as a COVID vaccine availability in our states. Mostly people are choosing Covaxin, Covishield, and those who are traveling abroad, they are choosing Pfizer, and even Sputnik 5 is yet to come, but it will gonna launch soon. So I need the audience to just buck up and get ahead to the chat box. I just want to know, how many have you taken a jab of Covaxin? How many have you got a first jab of Covaxin? Taken Covaxin, Latish Punjabi Covaxin, Reena Gumhare. Okay, she's completely vaccinated. Covaxin. And how many have you got Covishield? Yeah, there are many people who got first jab of Covishield, completely vaccinated. Okay, so you might be having a lot of questions in your mind that which vaccine is suitable for me, which vaccine has a great efficacy, which vaccine doesn't give you fever, doesn't give you a lot of side effects. So how many got those questions in your mind? Manali Kate says yes. She got doubts. And what about others? Okay, so there are many people who had doubts. Eventually, even a small child who's asked to take an injection, he'll also have some sort of doubts in their mind. And mostly in the girl's case, there was a rumor about it that it will cost you the infertility, it will affect your reproductive organs. So it was totally a myth. Any vaccine which is given in a widespread can't be in that state which gives you these kind of side effects. There are very mild side effects leading to a recovery rate almost 99%. There's 1% case where the side effects last for a longer duration of time, but in other cases, in a very healthy being, it doesn't last for more than 4 days. So eventually, the body recovers while the first jab is given to the patient. And you should not believe in the rumors which are in a widespread in the era of Instagram, Facebook, Snapchat, WhatsApp, which is a certified university now. So people are getting so much of chaotic rumors about that people are still scared of getting vaccination. So that's good if you are completely or partially vaccinated. I'm good to see such students, such youth who have who are a really good Indian citizen. So coming back to the point, the currently licensed vaccines, Covishield and Covaxin, are found to be safe and effective. So there's no risk of getting any severe side effect. So Covishield gives you 70 to 90% efficacy, while Covaxin gives you 81% of efficacy. So which means if a group of 100 people have vaccinated, so around in that group, 70 to 90 people from them will not be having asymptomatic COVID disease. So there will be, उनको ऐसा लगेगा कि COVID आया, कब उनको छू के गया पता भी नहीं चला. Only if you are vaccinated, no matter if you are partially or completely. Are you able to understand? If you want to have a Hindi language, I can do a English for you. Just tell me in the chat box. Okay. Heta Chabaria says both are okay. Namrita Bhattacharji says English. Okay. So coming to the Sputnik 5, which is a very trendy topic right now in the terms of vaccination. So recently, the Sputnik 5 vaccine was also approved for the launch in India. So it is a Russian 2-dose vaccine which is given 3 weeks apart, which is around 21 in the span of 21 days. Sputnik 5 gives you 91% efficacy. It has the highest efficacy, which is 91, after Covaxin and Covishield. So now this is for all the vegetarians present out there and who are completely vegan. So vaccine ingredients do not include, I am just emphasizing on not. It doesn't include eggs, pork products, gelatin, latex, preservatives, microchips. People were having a lot of questions, and in not only in you can say in a separate community or in Muslims or Hindu, even all the community people were having doubts that it contains eggs, will not get vaccination. It contains pork, it doesn't get we won't be going for a first jab. So these are not included in it, because when the first trial ran in the year 2020 only, mostly in October, between October to November. So they were trying a lot of options for the vaccine. So it was done on only rats and monkeys, none other than. So it does include the RNA of adenovirus, but it doesn't include eggs, pox, products, gelatin. And while to all the pharmacology students, you might be knowing that gelatin helps the vaccine or a couple of medicines to last longer. It extends the expiration rate of the vaccine, of the particular drug in which you are inducing gelatin. So the myths are being broken that it doesn't contain all these ingredients. So you should be don't worry about that. So now coming to the Covaxin. The Covaxin is a vaccine that aims to protect against COVID-19 virus, and the manufacturers and developer are Bharat Biotech, and its research name is BBV152. So where double B stands for Bharat Biotech, and Biotech, and V stands for vaccine. 152 is the number given to the vaccine, and the type of vaccine is inactivated, and the administration method is same as with the other other vaccinations. It is intramuscular injection, which is given in a 4 to 6 weeks gaps. So now composition, what includes? This is the favorite part of pharmacology students, I guess. Covaxin includes inactivated coronavirus. There is a dead virus induced in the vaccine. It has aluminium hydroxide gel, TLR 7/8 agonist, 2-phenoxyethanol and phosphate buffered saline, NKA1. So there were a lot of rumors that on the site of injection, a man was complaining that that the coin was stick to the site of injection, but it was a rumor. Due to presence of aluminium, the guy just read that content on the vial, so he was assuming that because of aluminium, there might be a coin which is sticking to his arm, but it was complete rumor. So now coming to the Covishield vaccine, it is again it does aims to protect against COVID-19, and the manufacturer and developer are AstraZeneca, Serum Institute of India, as you all know. Research name is AZD1222 and CHAD, CHAD-OX1 was given by Serum Institute of India, and this AZD was given by AstraZeneca. So vaccine type is non-replicating viral vector. It does have a same composition just like Sputnik 5 vaccine, and it is nothing. It has non-replicating viral vector, and while a co-vaccine has inactivated adenovirus. So administration method is again the same, intramuscular injection, also known as Oxford or AstraZeneca vaccine. So the current gap between two doses of the vaccine has been set at 12 to 16 weeks for all the adults. And now its composition includes L-histidine, L-histidine hydrochloride, monohydrate, magnesium, chloride, hexahydrate, polysorbate 80, ethanol, sucrose, sodium chloride, disodium edetate, dehydrate, EDTA, and water for injection. So if I can say the state's name specifically, from West Bengal and Jharkhand, there were so many cases that they said that the water has been injected or has been given in the form of vaccine. So it is kind of a placebo method which is followed by all the doctors, but it wasn't the water actually, it was just the Covishield or Covaxin, whichever it was supplied that time. So it wasn't the water, there were a rumor, but I know it is a very transparent vaccine which has a water-like consistency. But if you are getting fresh vial right from the ice box, then it is again this original one. There's no water in it. So people might get confused while reading the contents that it has water, so they'll inject water only, there will be no vaccine. So it's just a myth. And placebo method affects them because if you are giving as I can say, if I give a vaccine shots to 10 people, and out of which 5 people have received Covaxin and 5 people have received Covishield, so there will be a lot of questions that why they are providing these two vaccines to 5 different groups. So it is not about that. It is totally about seeing the after effects of vaccine. Though the contents are quite 19 to 20 ऐसा कुछ होता है, but the vaccine gives you total protection. You know, it acts like a helmet, it acts like a seat belt, it gives you protection, it gives you protections against life. When you go to a company of a car, of any bike, or even if you go to a helmet seller, you won't be asking him for guarantee. I was having a lot of questions from people that what is the guarantee of the vaccine. So, you know, helmet and seatbelt gives you a protection. So meanwhile, if we come to COVID vaccine, it is giving you a protection against a very severe condition. Like you won't be ending up to the in the hospital after getting your first jab or or if you are completely vaccinated. So the treatment and the condition of the patients is seen not at worst, and they're having only mild symptoms, and they're not ending up into the ICU with the oxygen cylinder. So you should explain this to all of your known who haven't got their first vaccination dose. It is a high time that people should be aware of it. Now coming to the Sputnik 5 vaccine, manufacturer and developer are Gamaleya Research Institute. Research name is GAM COVID Vac. Vaccine type is non-replicating viral vector, same as Covaxin. Administration method is intramuscular injection. And the current gap between two doses of the vaccine has been set at 12 to 16 weeks for all adults, but it might get changed by WHO if there will be a huge supply in India. So there might be some chances that it might the vaccination gap can be reduced to around 10 weeks most approximately. Not sure though, but yeah, the news is like in the pipeline. So let's see. So composition of Sputnik 5, there should be no Covishield. It should have Sputnik 5. My error. Sorry. So it includes tris hydroxymethyl aminomethane, sodium chloride, salt, which is salt, sucrose, magnesium chloride, hexahydrate, disodium EDTA dihydride buffers, and polysorbate, which is 80, ethanol 95%, and water. So do you have doubts regarding the vaccines? If someone has got first jab of Covaxin, Covishield, I hope the doubts are being cleared.
Hello, madam.
Yes, sir.
Ma'am, I got first vaccine as a Covaxin in May. And in May only, after 20 days, I infected with Corona.
Okay.
So after 3 months, that's completed now. I have to go for the vaccination again, second dose.
Okay. So see, 3 months have been already passed. So you are good to go for the second dose.
So I just want to know, can I go for the another vaccines? As I have taken the Covaxin first, I want to go for Covishield because Covaxin is not yet get approval from WHO, which might be restricted us from traveling abroad and all. So can I go for Covishield now and 2 doses of Covishield, or we have to stick with the Covaxin and waiting for the approval of WHO for Covaxin?
I'm sorry to say you have to wait for Covaxin only. Don't go for Covishield because, you know, mixing two vaccines together for the first and second jab will give you a cocktail effect, but believe me, it won't make any difference to your body. You already have the antibodies now, and you know, as you have defeated the virus after getting vaccinated, so it is good that Covaxin worked for you. You didn't have any severe symptoms, right?
Yes.
So go for Covaxin.
Actually, yeah. I just want to tell to all the students also, mine, that because of this vaccination, me and my family survived a lot. My father and mother taken both the doses. Even they got infected at the age of 65 also. There was no ill effect of the COVID. They faced the COVID, but there were no ill effect. Within the 5 to 6 days, they recovered, and that too without dropping the oxygen level at the in home only. Means we didn't require to admit anywhere. Touch wood for that.
Yeah.
But it's really helping us in getting cured from, or what do you say, protection. As you mentioned about the seatbelt and helmet, that's 100% true. So my question was just to ask you whether we can go for shifting the mixture of the vaccination, or we have to wait for Covaxin to get approved?
Who will definitely approve the Covaxin due to some errors. There might be an issue in that, and I'm very good to know that you don't ended up in the ICU, because I have seen a lot of patients who ended up in the ICU while they were not vaccinated. So vaccine totally gives you protection, and it's good that you shared with your students also that you should get vaccinated. And there's a myth about mixing two doses to make a cocktail effect. It won't last for a long, and it doesn't give a proper response to your body. So it's basically sticking to your first dose of vaccination. Don't overgo it.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah. So why you should get the COVID-19 vaccine? What are the benefits of the jab? So I want to know in the chat box that why you should get COVID-19 vaccination. Come on, just a guess will work for me. Yeah. Kashmira Wag says to prevent complication caused by COVID-19 infection. Good, very good. As a prevention precaution, Gayatri Mukadam, right? Prevention, traveling. Yeah, Yuvraj Yadav wants to travel. Okay. And Rohini Verma said prevention. Okay. Ma'am, it's the same reason I said it gives us protection. Malavika Shaila Jan, okay. Yamini Gore, to boost our immune system against the virus, right? Absolutely right. Tanuja Masani, to make our immunity stronger, boost our immune system, to defeat the adverse effects of COVID-19 for ending pandemic, right? Okay. Vikram Singh says prevention from virus as well as our self-protection. Good. It improves immunity. Okay. So you are a smart generation. You usually have answers ready after even before completing the webinar. So it's good to see that all the answers are correct. So after the second wave of the COVID infection, so showing no respite, our best bet is in getting vaccinated. And I have seen Mumbai at the verge of sulking down, because there were a lot of cases, there were a lot of complications in Mumbai, and even in Bangalore, Kerala, Delhi. So there was equal rise in the COVID cases. And usually, what people did before the second wave was they traveled a lot. They thought that lockdown is over, COVID is over now, and I've seen a lot of people who were not wearing masks, not at all covering their faces. So there was definitely our mistakes, and we got a poor results of the patients also. So people were aware, but in such cases they were unaware also. I know it is very hard to be in your homes for more than 1.5 years. There was a lot of chaos, there was a lot of downfall in the recruitment center. There was no jobs, people were going unemployed. So there were a lot of traumatic situation for all over the people, not only in India but also abroad. And people were like, I need to go out of this place, I need to go out of that home, I need to have my own space. So what people did, they traveled a lot. All the northern cities, all the northeastern cities were full of all the travelers, all the tourists, and which lead to a boost in the second wave. So the present outbreak has been caused mainly by the mutated strains of the COVID virus. You all know it's a virus. It will show its true colors no matter what. In after 3 years, it will have again a mutated strains, so you never know what virus is holding up for you. So you need to stick to the vaccine, and as such the previous infection might not be useful for protecting against the current strain. So this is why we suggest to get vaccination as soon as possible. So there should be no myth that no ma'am, no sir, even to your doctor that I want to have co-vaccine only, or I will have Covishield, or I'll wait for Sputnik 5, or I'll wait for Pfizer. So if you are if you are having such options in your plate right now, so go for whatever is near to you, whatever vaccination center is near to you, and the availability of the current vaccine, which is given by the government to your state or to your city. So go for that. It's like first come first serve, whatever you get, and you'll be in a very preventive state, I would like to say. So who all are at risk of getting the COVID-19 vaccine? COVID-19 infection, and they are on a first list of getting infected and facing this deadliest virus in the ICU, no matter what. So first patients are of cardiac. Those who are heart patients, they are more prone to the virus getting into their body. Malignancy, cancer tumor patients. Disabilities, whether it's visual, hearing, or orthopedic disability, people should get all these people should get vaccination before it's too late. Pulmonary patients who have COPD, who have lung infection, who are more prone of smoking nowadays, and to lifestyle dependent diseases, which are diabetes and hypertension. So all these 6 people of different diseases should get the first vaccine as soon as possible. So I have seen many nana, nani, dada, dadi of not getting vaccinated on time and ending into a very drastic situation. So in order to maintain that, our government gave the 4th priority to the 60, 65 plus, 45 plus patients to get people to get vaccinated as soon as possible, because they were at the higher risk of getting COVID-19 infection. So now coming to the brownie points, what are the 5 benefits of COVID-19 vaccination? So as people were suggesting, it boosts the immunity by creating an antibodies in your body. So it does boost your immunity, and you all were right. And it prevent and reduce the risk of severe illness. Third, it reduces the risk of death from COVID-19. Again, it reduces the risk of spreading, and it reconnects with society. So you are good to go for an offline class after getting completely vaccinated. And in the time being, all the colleges, all the schools are reopening. So let's see how we face it, and we can stabilize the 3rd wave, or we can postpone it, but it will definitely come. It's not a surety that it won't affect India, or it won't affect any other countries who have children or who have adults who have vaccinated. So it will affect India, but in a very mild form, as per AIMS doctor suggests. But let's see, we hope for the best. So now coming to the MOA of Covishield, what is the mode of action of Covishield? So Serum Institute of India and AstraZeneca are the manufacturer of Covishield, as I mentioned earlier. So the Covishield vaccine protects your body from contracting it instead of eliminating the virus. See, it doesn't eliminate the virus. I would like to mention that it doesn't eliminate the virus. It protects your body from contracting it. It protects you from getting infected. So again, the helmet and the seatbelt rule follows here. The Covishield vaccine is currently being used in India, which is widely being used. So according to the citizens who have been given the vaccine, now their body is more capable of fighting diseases than before. So as soon as the vaccine is introduced, the body acts as a shield to fight the coronavirus. The vaccine checks the coronavirus and prevents it from entering the body. So now the vaccine is becoming the doctor inside your body. It checks the coronavirus and then it takes the proper action. So if the virus penetrates into the body, the vaccine creates antibodies and exits the body. So there's a lot of antibodies present in your body after getting vaccination. So it forms a secure layer like placenta, where it gives the food to the baby, it nurtures the baby. So the antibodies acts like placenta to the body. And more of action of Covaxin. The India company Bharat Biotech partnered with the National Institute of Virology and the Indian Council of Medical Research, which is ICMR, to develop an inactivated coronavirus vaccine called Covaxin. India authorized the vaccine for emergency use on January 3rd, and trial results later showed the vaccine has an efficacy of 78%. Covaxin works by teaching the immune system. So as on Teachers' Day, we have a new teacher in the world of vaccine, which is Covaxin. So to make antibodies against the SARS-CoV-2 coronavirus. So antibodies in Covaxin, what does it do to your body? So there's a teacher in your classroom which makes monitors, or I can say CR, class representative. So Covaxin makes antibodies at monitors and CR, so that we the entire class, the entire antibodies can fight against what? SARS-CoV-2 coronavirus. So the antibodies attach to the viral points. So now antibodies are getting attached to the viral points. Again, viral points are the representative subjects representative teachers of the specific subject. So they act as a viral protein, such as the so-called spikes. As you can see here, a cone or a spike-like structure around the virus. It is a spike-like structure that studs its surface. It studs its surface. It just have this attached on the outer layer. See, this outer layer of the circle, it gets attached. Now, once the researchers produce large stocks of the coronaviruses, they douse them with a chemical called beta-propiolactone. The compound disables the coronaviruses by bonding to their genes. The inactivated coronavirus could no longer replicate, but their proteins, including spikes, so these spikes and proteins, remained intact. They can't replicate as the DNA, mRNA or DNA. Whenever it gets to the body, it have a very low count of getting replicated, or no count of getting replicated. So the researchers then drew off the inactivated viruses and mixed them with a tiny amount of an aluminium-based compound called an adjuvant. So here aluminium plays a very important role, which is known as adjuvant. Adjuvant stimulates the immune system to boost its response to a vaccine. So the main adjuvant gives you the permission, to your immune system to respond accordingly to the vaccine. So inactivated viruses have been used for over a century. Who all of you think that even nowadays this inducing dead virus is getting hype, or is a new method? Just tell me in the chat box. Do you guys think that it is a new method, or is it an old method? Old method. LHH Yuvraj Yadav, the traveler, is absolutely right. Vivek Prajapati, it is old method, it is right. Sakshi Wagh, old method, Shraddha Dhonde, old method, old Ansar Fani. Like, all the people think that it is an old method. You are absolutely right. It is an old method, because you might have heard oral polio vaccine or hepatitis vaccine or rabies vaccine or chickenpox vaccine or smallpox vaccine. So it did have that dead virus inside that vaccine to have a better response, have better results, to have activated the antibodies in your bodies to act accordingly to the specific vaccine. So Jonas Salk used them to create his own polio vaccine. He was the first one to use it in the polio vaccine in the 1950s, and there are the basis for vaccines against other diseases, which include rabies, hepatitis A, chickenpox, smallpox, even what do you say? There was a very life-threatening disease which affected almost the entire generation in the late 1980s, which was can anybody tell me in the chat box? Plague. Yes, Kashmira Wagh is right. I can see a lot of intelligent students in Hiranandani College. On Teachers' Day, your teachers might be very happy with you, with your performance. So now, coming back to the mode of action, MOA of Covaxin. So the grayish part, which you can see, is our immune system, and it is the injected dead virus, which our immune system is trying to engulf it. So there is a lot of spikes and digestive proteins are lying beneath the surface of the immune system. But for you, I made it very clear with this one spike and one digestive protein. And there's this, as you can see, the Y shape over here is a antigen presenting cell, which has the entire lumen type of thing around it. So now helper T cells became the savior, becomes the army in our body to just digest this protein and to have that spike in helper T cells body. Presenting virus protein fragments. These are the virus protein fragments which are engulfed by helper T cells. The antigen presenting cells tears the coronavirus apart and displays some of its fragments on its surface. A so-called helper T cell, XYZ helper T cell, may detect the fragment. If the fragment fits into one of its surface protein, the T cell becomes activated and can help recruit other immune cells to respond to the vaccine. So now, coming to the mode of action of Sputnik 5, it is a vector-based vaccine. So a vector is a virus that lacks a gene responsible for reproduction, and it's used to transport genetic material from another virus that is being vaccinated against into the cell. So earlier in Covishield, it was a dead virus. Now in Sputnik 5, it is a vector-based virus which proceeds the transportation of genetic material from X virus to the infected or to the given vaccine virus provided by the vaccination dose. So the vector does not pose any hazard to the body. Some of you might get to know that if the virus is getting injected in the body, so there might be a hazardous or worse effect, but it does not affect your body. The vaccine is based on an adenovirus viral vector, which is normally caused which normally causes acute respiratory viral infection. So the X virus is known as adenoviral vector. So this X virus gets attached to the S protein and the spikes which are present here. Now adenovirus, what does it do? A gene coding S protein of SARS-CoV-2 spikes is inserted into each vector. So these are vector 1 and these are the vectors. This is vector 1 and this is vector 2. And the adenovirus get attached to this. And the S protein attaches on the site of these vectors. The spikes from the crown from which the virus gets its name. Yeah, the SARS-CoV-2 virus uses spikes to get into the cell. So can anybody tell me that why corona is named, why COVID-19 is named as coronavirus? Can anybody tell me? Tanuja Masane, right, because crown-shaped spikes. Very good. Latish Punjabi, crowns like shape, Mansi Patel, crowns like, yeah, crowns like shape. So in this, there's a small crowns like projection which you can see here. Corona radiata, crown-like shape by looking from above. Yes. So this is the actual virus, the crown shape, which you can see over here in this picture. I have made it a flower-like projection to show you, because the old COVID corona picture is very common. So I tried to manipulate it. So this is the actual source of virus. It gets detached and enters to your body, and this little thing on the virus gives you the severe infection. So now, what first vaccine of Sputnik 5 has? So vector with the gene coding S protein of coronavirus gets into a cell. It gets into the cell membrane, and gene coding S protein is done after that. So the body synthesizes S protein in response. The production of immunity begins. So the S protein gene production is there, and immunity is being processed by our immune system, and these antibodies are being made after the first vaccination or first dose of Sputnik 5. And second vaccination after 21 days, these antibodies have been in a large number, have been made in a very large number, and now the vaccine based on another adenovirus vector unknown to the body boosts the immunity responses and provides for long lasting immunity. It doubles up the immunity in your body. So the use of two vectors is a unique technology of the Gamaleya Center, making the Russian vaccine different from other adenovirus vector-based vaccines being developed globally. So the vector method gives Sputnik 5 a spotlight in terms of other vaccines. So what are the common side effects was seen after vaccine? So as you all know, there was fever, there was headache, there was chills, there was nausea, joint pain, and these are the listing of Sputnik 5 vaccine after the first dose of. There was 70% fatigue, there was 46.4% joint pain, 64.7% headache, muscle ache was all about 61.5%, chills 45.4%, fever 15.5%, nausea and vomiting was 23%. These are the common side effects which I'm sure you might also have crossed so far after getting vaccinated. Even if you are completely vaccinated, so there are chances to have these same symptoms again in 1 or 2 days. It might take 2 to 3 days also, but you might have these symptoms. And don't think that if I've taken first dose of vaccination, so I have suffered a lot with the side effects and I won't be suffering enough in the second dose. So it is totally a myth. Some people do have mild symptoms, some do have uh, high fever, like around 102 to 101. So it ranges according to the body and how body is reacting to the second dose. So Covishield vaccines side effects are as follows: pain or tenderness at the site of injection, headache, tiredness, muscle or joint aches, fevers, chills, nausea. And there are a lot of people who didn't had nausea or who didn't have nausea at that time. They were complaining of fever, chills, and headache, severe headache. Muscle joint pains come along with any vaccine, you name it, you will have the muscle or joint aches. Other less common side effects are also possible, like diarrhea. So you need to be very hydrated. Like your first step in the morning should be having a lot of water, and so that the toxins are released through urine, and it helps to suppress the vaccine side effects. Should be very hydrated. I'll share the diet which you should follow in the coming slides. And common side effects of the co-vaccine is fever, again, headache, irritability, pain, and swelling, or both at the site of injection. So I don't think that I need to invest a couple of minutes on this, because these are the symptoms which generally every individual face. And I should tell you that if a person who's 60 plus or 65 plus got their first jab, so there will be a low risk of the symptoms to get noticed until and unless there's a fever or something. But usually the people who are in older age do have a less immune response as compared to the young adults, because I was also having a lot of side effects of the vaccine. So younger generation's immune system is more prone to act against the vaccine, because it calls out every in the immune system. It calls out that there's a virus again, and we need to fight, and we need to make antibodies. So here our immune system is the monitor. Here it acts as a monitor. It tells the teacher to exams are approaching, and I need to have a proper setup and have to face it with less difficulty. So our antibodies are easily made in the young adults. So the immunity boosting power is much more as compared to the old generation. So there might be no symptoms of fever, headache, irritability, or pain or joint aches in older people. So I think this doubt of having a lot of pain or fever, high fever, why young people were facing that is now clear to all of you. So now, why should you know if you have been what should you know if you have been fully vaccinated? So there's a looming fear about rising positive rate and uptick the COVID cases in the country, with experts proceeding as possible. A possible surge in cases, the third wave looks like an imminent threat in the coming months or two. While in the couple of months we will face the third wave, but if we are fully vaccinated and the kids are inside or staying indoors, there should be less harmful effects on kids these days. So khatra abhi sach mein nahi tala hai. So there's a lot of waves will hit us, but if we are properly immune, if we are properly vaccinated, then nothing can harm us until and unless we are careless. I've seen a lot of people who are not wearing mask at all after getting the vaccination, or when they are completely vaccinated. So you should have vaccinations at time. You should get your first jab, so that the risk of getting infected in the third wave is on a very low rate. If statistics are to go by, there's less than 10% of India's population which is fully immunized. Only less than 10% of people are fully immunized, including senior citizens, frontline workers, and a negligible percentage of healthy aged individuals who received both doses of the vaccine before the second wave peak, making them unfortunately also prone to waning immunity right now. So as you can see, the statistics, only 10% of population have been fully vaccinated or completely vaccinated. So there's a lot of 90% population which is yet to be vaccinated, and those who are partially vaccinated, they have very low immunity right now. So this is the snapshot of the current cases which we have in India. 3rd September, the cases were 42,680. And if we take an average of 7 days, then the average is about 42,000 to 280. So it is on 3rd September, the graph was. See, as you can see, when there was a second wave, the graph is on its peak. Like we crossed 4 lakh or maybe more than 4 lakh. So now nothing could be farther from the truth, and a closer look at the data can help disabuse us of this notion. India continues to report roughly 40,000 new cases of COVID-19 every day, even now. Even today, there was a 40,000 plus cases, while this number is barely 10% of the peak seen in May 22. So this is the peak which I am talking about. So it is still high. It is true that North and Central India are reporting fewer incidents of coronavirus infection now, but West, South, and Northeast India are reporting high numbers daily. So we need to be very precautious. So let us now take a closer look at reasons behind the second wave. The second wave of the coronavirus pandemic can be attributed to the perfect storm created by 4 factors coming together. What mistake we did was complicacy, super spreader events, more infectious variants, insufficient vaccine coverage. There was complicacy, there was no beds, there was less beds, or in some hospitals there was no bed at all. People were dying outside of the hospital. They were begging to just let them admit in the hospital. So there was the first drawback to have the second wave on its high peak. Super spreader events. We all know what all happened in the period of May to April. There was Kumbh Mela. There was people who were traveling. They were traveling abroad. They were traveling in North India. So the virus was in the community spread. It went to the community spread, and it left the community spread also, and in every home we were facing 1 or 2 COVID cases, and the variant was more infectious than the previous variant which was discovered in 2019 and 20. Insufficient vaccine coverage was there. There was less number of vaccine distributed in the particular area or the state. So will third wave will be less severe? What AIMS chief says, let us know. So there is no clarity on the timeline of the third wave. We will see an increase in the number of cases in the near future. This is what AIMS chief Dr. Randeep Guleria said in the recent interview with the Times of India. The 4th Sero survey released earlier this week it released on 30 August. About 40 crore people in the country are still vulnerable. The Sero survey showed, highlighting that about 67% of India population has developed antibodies. No matter what, people have developed the antibodies, but there's still risk of getting infected again. So even in the AIMS or in hospitals in Mumbai, so there is seriously no clarity. The third wave will hit us, but it's upon us that how do we treat it? How do we take the precautionary measures to overcome the third wave? So according to WHO, World Health Organization, who shouldn't take vaccine shots. So this is now a start point to make. So Covaxin and Covishields, which are widely spread in India, don't take it if you have the history of allergies. Consult your dermatologist before taking the shot. Fever, bleeding disorders, any bleeding disorder from nose, mouth, you're not allowed to take the vaccine. Received another COVID-19 vaccine. If you have already received the COVID-19 vaccine in the days of 15 or 20, so you are not allowed to take another dose of it. Serious health issues detected by vaccine shot supervisor. If the vaccine shot supervisor have detected some serious symptoms or serious health issues, then you should not take it. Severe allergic reactions after a previous dose of this vaccine. If you have taken Covishield or Covaxin and you have suffered a lot of allergies or a lot of rashes, allergic reactions, then you should not take it. You should consult your dermatologist first and then decide what is good for you. Severe allergic reaction to any ingredient of the vaccine. If somebody is allergic to aluminium, if somebody is allergic to L-histidine, then he or she should consider telling the things to his or her family doctor. Mention medical conditions and supervisor says no. If you have a medical condition, then you should say no to it. And if you're 18, under 18, and if you are immune compromised, if any of the person is having AIDS, HIV, or any other COPD, pulmonary diseases, or neuro diseases like epilepsy or anything, then you should consider your doctor first and then take action against it. Pregnant women now can take vaccine. Breastfeeding women can take vaccines now. As under 18 year, those who are under 18 years of age, they can't. In a couple of months, there would be under 18 vaccination or under 12 vaccination setup. Let's see, hope for the best when it comes, when is the official guidelines from who comes. So let's see, we are waiting for it so that all the kids and all the young adults can get vaccinated. Not sure and may prefer to consult your healthcare provider. And if you're not sure about getting the first jab or second jab, please consider telling your or consulting your family doctor. They'll guide you better. So it should be a matter of pride that more than half of Indian adults have had first jab. Half of Indian adults have had first jab. It is very good to know. But India gave 5.9 million jabs on an average every day in August. We did hit the milestone compared to 4.3 million daily jabs in July. So the average data is increased by 1.6%. Expert says India needs to administer more than 10 million doses a day to have a very protective environment against the COVID. Consistently to fully inoculate all eligible adults by the by the end of this year. So by the end of this year, there will be all the adults who will be completely vaccinated. So this is the data from India Today Group. Vaccination coverage in states, percentage of eligible population receiving at least one dose. So Himachal Pradesh tops it with 60.7%, Gujarat 41.0%, Kerala 40.6%, and now the list continues. So India is 29% fully vaccinated. But if there is a good news, there is a bad news too. So while the vaccination drive has gained momentum, experts worry about the gender gap government. Data shows 6% fewer women are getting vaccinated. It is very bad to know that in rural areas, women are still restricted for getting the vaccination due to not getting proper awareness, because there's no source of computers, internet, or even social media. So people in the villages are quite orthodox in terms of vaccine also, So this is especially true in rural India, where women have limited access to the internet and are hesitant or scared to take the vaccine. So if there's no proper awareness, so there might be very serious doubts regarding the vaccination. And in cities, as I mentioned earlier, that uh, people don't have this much of doubts, but in rural areas there's a lot of doubts from all the age groups. उनको ये लगता है कि they will die after getting first jab, or they just believe the rumors, because we as an educated people, we tend to have a second thought on it. But in village, if there's a news in paper that somebody died after having the first jab, then there should be they would be like believing it. It's like paper is like God to them. Any fake news is also considered as a real news to them. So although a higher number of doses are being administered daily in rural areas, the share of population being vaccinated in urban areas is still greater. So there's a lot of vaccination camps in village as compared to your city specifically. So what are the myths and facts of COVID-19 vaccinations? Let's debunk them. The vaccine were rushed and they aren't safe. As I said, they thought the vaccine is fake. They thought that they are injecting only water. But vaccines are approved by Health Canada and WHO respectively, and they are backed by data demonstrating their safety, efficacy, and quality. The vaccines can give you COVID-19 virus. Vaccine won't give you COVID-19 virus. It will act as a barrier in the virus and your antibodies to fight against it. It won't give you COVID-19. It will protect against from you COVID-19. It gives you the cap. It gives you the helmet. It gives you the seatbelt for proper protection. The vaccine can't give you COVID-19. They do not contain a live strain virus. Many people thought that there is a live virus induced in the form of vaccine, but it wasn't alive. It was the dead one. The vaccine contains egg protein. No, it wasn't true. The vaccine doesn't contain. The vaccine don't contain egg proteins and can be given to people with egg allergies or who are vegan. The vaccines cause severe side effects. No, it does not. The vaccine are all safe. Most side effects are mild and will resolve within a few days or their own. It takes a week to get recovered from the first or second dose of vaccination. The vaccines can make women infertile. It was on trend in all the Instagram, all the Facebook, all the Twitter was flooded with it. Even on WhatsApp University, it was on the flow. It was floating like hell. So there is no evidence that the vaccine can cause infertility or can harm your reproductive organs. No, it doesn't. So you all are essential to us. So get vaccinated, those who haven't already. So if you are reading this, thank your teacher. And our very happy Teachers Day. This comes to an end. And thank you, Hiranandani College of Pharmacy and HSNC for giving me this opportunity to be present here all the information which I had so far or which I got and what experiences I got from COVID-19, treating COVID-19 vaccinations. So thank you for giving me this opportunity. I must say a wonderful opportunity to interact with a lot of intelligent young adults from your college. It was a nice experience and sorry for the delay. I couldn't make it on time. So yeah, I hope you like it. Thank you. Over to the speaker.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for the wonderful session. It was really enlightening and a pleasure to listen to you. Not only did we gain so much of information from the session, but also we enjoyed it to the fullest. Ma'am, will it be okay if we take some questions from the students now? I request all the students to put their queries in their respective chat boxes. Sure, ma'am. Sure.
Am I audible now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So in a week or two, the symptoms will get rid of your from body. So if a fever lasts for more than 4 days, then you should consult your doctor, and you should keep the check of if the person is diabetic, you should keep the check of his or her sugar levels. Yuvraj Yadav says, ma'am, why vaccines are categorized as 18 to 44 and 45 above? See, we have a age group criteria in which particular vaccine is distributed so that there's no accumulation of people in that dispensary or in that hospital or at the vaccination center. Plus, below 18 or below 12-year vaccine is still on the trials, and the clinical trials have been running so far very speedily. So in the couple of months, we'll be getting to know that what amount of or what dose of actual vaccine for the kids is being allowed. For us, it is 10% of the vaccine for the first dose. So we have categorized to just to reduce the population to a less number on that particular vaccination center, so that there's no accumulation of the population. Is it necessary for a COVID recovered person to take vaccine? Obviously, if you are COVID recovered or if you had mild symptoms, you should get the vaccine. Antibodies, Itishri Vedda says, antibodies last for few months. After that, again, re-vaccination. What is the probability? In India, it is really a challenge to vaccinate. Yes, as we discussed in the webinar earlier, that it is a huge task to perform, to educate people, to aware people about the vaccine. You know, when you were at the age of 4, 5, 6, 7, whatever, below 10 the age was, people were supposed to come to your door to get you a polio vaccine. It was oral, and it was like just 2 drops of polio. So that time it was more trickier. So now that in the time of pandemic, it is more trickier. So yeah, it is a challenge, but our government and doctors, healthline workers, nursing staff are trying their level best to attain the position that we crossed 5.9 millions of vaccinations so far. So yeah, we are coming across such cases. Ashwani Chaurasia says, ma'am, it is said that the vaccine is only valid for 6 months. So do we have to get vaccinated again? 6 months as in the 2 doses. Then you are good to go. So I just said that if you are completely or partially vaccinated, you should follow the precautionary measures. Mask should be on your mouth, on your face, because you are the only person who can break the chain, right? So it is necessary. Akshay says, ma'am, do we need to take 3 doses of vaccine? No, you don't need to take it. Gayatri Mukadam, ma'am, as you said, we should avoid taking two different vaccines. What side effects may occur other than the usual? See, cocktail variations of the vaccines haven't been in the limelight so far, so I am not able to answer your question because it hasn't been tried on the patients or the people, that if the person have already taken the first dose of Covishield, then he or she is eligible to take only Covishield. So there's no case of having Covaxin instead of Covishield as the second dose. So I can't tell you the basic side effects because it didn't happen. Sejal Srivas says, ma'am, what are the chances of getting COVID-19 after vaccine? See, there are chances of getting infected again if you are going to the public places, as the school, colleges are being reopened, restaurant, films, theater, malls, everything is on the verge of opening now. So you need to have the social, you need to maintain the social distance to not have interact with the virus. Plus, it's totally up to you, up to your area, up to your population, up to your state, like how many how much the disease have been widespread so far. So there are chances, like vaccine gives you only protection, it doesn't give you a proper guarantee that you won't get chances. So I can't say what percentage of chances which you gonna have after the vaccine of COVID-19, but yeah, there are certain chances that you might interact if you are not following the precautionary measures or if you are not avoiding the social distancing properly. If one suffers from COVID, then recovery is it. Then after recovery, it is necessary to wait for some days before getting vaccine. Yes, Amey Jahagirdar, it is very necessary to wait for about 90 days. And after 90 days of your recovery from COVID-19 infection, then you are good to go to take your first jab. Sheetal Dubey, if the second dose of vaccine is delayed, will there be consequences? No, there will be no consequences, but you will have a lesser number of antibodies. You should get the second dose on time as it is mentioned on your vaccination certificate. Aniket Rathore, ma'am, government is planning to give the third dose as a booster dose. So if we are fully vaccinated with one vaccine, so we have to take the booster dose. See, coming to the booster dose, it will eventually depend on the third wave, which will be going we will be going to face. So if the government or the WHO decides to give the third dose, irrespective of the third wave being affected or it getting worse, so there might be a slight case of getting the third dose. So let's see what happens. Why there is a lot of gap between two doses of Covishield vaccine? Because Covishield vaccine have a dead virus and it lasts in your bodies for more than 2 to 3 weeks, 2 to 3 days, and after that your antibodies are fully developed. The virus is being attacked by the COVID. Virus is being the dead virus is being attacked by the antibodies which are present in your body by the help of your immune system. So it takes a lot of strength, a lot of power, a lot of energy for the antibodies to fight against the dead virus. So there's a lot of time in between the two doses of vaccine, Covishield vaccine. Kashmira Wag says, why one would wait after getting COVID for 90 days for vaccination? Why one should wait after getting COVID for 90 days for vaccination? Yes, because you need to wait because your body already fighted against the virus. So now it's your responsibility to give the proper attention, to give the proper time, to heal, to suppress, or to have that energy to fight that virus in the dead form or in the vector form again. So you need to heal your body first for 90 days. Whether it's a COVID-19 infection, whether it's a viral infection, whether it's a flu, whether it's a cold, you need to wait for 90 days approximately for the another dose of vaccine. Tarthak Joshi asks, what are the chances of getting COVID-19 after vaccine? As I already answered this question. Is COVID-19 man-made? What's your view on this? Kalpesh Jan. It's totally rubbish, you know. It's not man-made virus. Why would a man would make such virus? And if it was man-made, that first men would have been vaccinated, would have been in the curing list to get the cure of the virus. So it is totally a rubbish. Don't give wings to the rumors around you. I hope I've answered all the questions, and if you still have questions, then you can comment in the comment section.
Oh, a warm and cherishing afternoon to dear ma'am, our principal sir, teachers who are present over here, and all my dear friends. Thank you, ma'am. That was really a very helpful session. I hope all the questions have been answered by now. Okay, so allow me to proceed with a vote of thanks. It is my privilege to propose a vote of thanks and acknowledge the contribution of ma'am, who worked hard and shared such gems of knowledge to make today's awareness campaign such a wonderful success. Ma'am, I'm convinced that all of my dear mates have now a crystal clear view about vaccination and will also be able to guide others to it. Thanks to you, ma'am, your words did the magic. I would now like to extend my gratitude to the students in charge. This type of swiftness could not be achieved overnight. The wheels started moving about a week ago. We have been fortunate to be supported by a team of very active and dedicated committee members of our colleges who are very well versed in their jobs. I lack words of appreciation for their participation and their willingness to complete tasks beyond their comfort zones. Thanks to you, ma'am, and thanks to all the committee members. Thank you.